operating in a low cost or lower cost environment such as basically allows you to create roles within the business which you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. You can't have those roles. They just economically wouldn't be feasible to do certain things. Whereas when you're in an environment where you can acquire and hire staff at a certain rate, which is substantively lower than what we pay here in Australia and New Zealand, you're in a position to be able to create a lot of roles which then can be done, and you can gain a lot of capability within the business that you wouldn't have otherwise. So I don't know what I'm not sure what our overall saving would be, so much as that we're able to do a lot more, and we can provision a lot more than we would have been otherwise able to do.
In the beginning, we did start with basic tasks. As Sophie and our agents who are full-time through Sophie, as they become more comfortable with our business and as they've started to understand how our business works more too, we've been able to bring on extra tasks and more complex tasks where, because they understood our business and have been dealing with our customers for so long, they're able to pick up at a much quicker pace, and that's enabled us to offload a lot of work that normally I would have thought we would have do like either myself or somebody else on our New York team would have to do. We were able to have the Sophie team do it, and that's been a huge help for us.
And with outsourcing, then you're paying an hourly rate, and that hourly rate, as you said, is comparable with Hong Kong but cheaper than the US. But within that hourly rate, you are getting this oversight, the support, and the infrastructure.
Exactly. So it seems like on the front end, you spend the same money, but we realize afterwards that we save a lot of money on, we don't have to manage the people, we don't have to keep them trained, we don't have to create an environment for them, we don't have to pay an office for them in Hong Kong. So yes, overall, it's less expensive.
In the beginning, we hired a couple of people in-house, but as we started to scale and we wanted to look for both more cost-effective solutions, but also more scalable solutions, we started looking at many outsourcing companies. We tested it with a variety, both from the Philippines, from India, some from Pakistan. I think we probably went through maybe 6 or 7 companies before we settled on Sophie. So, we have experimented with a lot of different types of companies, and we still outsource in addition to Sophie some other things like some chat support, some data work is done with some outsourcing companies. So a big portion of what we do is outsourced.
We were finding it difficult to find enough staff to fill a lot of the roles that we were creating, and we initially looked at expanding offices within Australia and New Zealand, but in the end, basically from a saving point of view and also from a talent acquisition point of view for a lot of the roles that we were after, it made more sense for us to go to Manila. Once we got there, we were sort of validated both in the fact that we were able to reduce the cost per head, and secondly, we were able to tap into a wide range of very talented and highly motivated staff to do a lot of the roles that we wanted to do. And as the years progressed, we increased a lot of those roles as we discovered that there was a much greater talent pool than we even thought was there, with a lot more skills than we sort of initially expected.
Would you see outsourcing as the way forward for the entire infrastructure as your business, like customer services, sales, or do you think it just works for this particular section of your business?
I'm more and more convinced that it's a good thing, especially for the operational development. We're outsourcing a lot of content, more and more, because we're creating content for our clients, and for everything that is related to markets or trends or new technologies, we prefer to outsource because we need to blend knowledge, and if you're always in the same bubble, you don't see anything, you just into your thing and you don't have like outside advice and everything. So I truly believe outsourcing in terms of knowledge is like critical.
Do you have any really rough indication as to the cost differential?
Yeah, I think it depends, because if you want to get somebody of equal quality, I'd have to say maybe I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna throw out a number that's like, I would say 4 times cheaper maybe, but that's a very rough estimate.
When I first went up, I visited the Philippines many years before that, but very, very briefly, and I had no real concept of what to expect. And I think I was really pleasantly surprised. The willingness and the eagerness of the staff to work and to try and sort of help us achieve the things we wanted was really very refreshing. And the overall culture is one which is very hardworking, and the staff really want to do a good job, which is great. And we were just encouraged over and over by that.
Before you went into this headlong, did you have any apprehensions about outsourcing?
I think everybody does a little bit, just because we are a U.S.-based company. From a cultural standpoint, our outsource workers do a lot of customer support. So, and we're in the online food delivery space. So there's a lot of like food items, like for example, certain types of cuisines. I thought maybe culturally that might be something that they might not be familiar with. So initially, that was the biggest apprehensions. But it was something that is pretty easy to get over with, and overall we've been very happy with the experience that we've got so far.
Has the team been able to flexibly kind of accommodate your needs as they evolve?
That's the best part, I think, of outsourcing.
I think there are very few use cases where it doesn't make sense. I can't think of a single business which wouldn't have some part of its function which wouldn't benefit from having staff. I think that it doesn't matter, even down to the most basic kind of business. There is always going to be a part of it or a function that needs to be done, which is probably either expensive or difficult, or most of the time, is being done by the owner, who could probably utilize their time far better to create value somewhere else. And I think, knowing what we know now, I think that there is no argument for why it should be done. I think it would be increasingly difficult to make an argument for why you wouldn't want to do this.
Did you quite realize the capability and capacity of outsourcing? Did you think when you started it was just bookkeepers, or did you realize actually you can run your entire company?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I thought that far, just because in the beginning, we did start with very specific tasks and we started expanding from there. But yeah, I guess looking back 4 years from now, I definitely didn't think they'd be doing as much as they are now. So I was very pleasantly surprised. But even in the beginning, we worked with many types of companies, and there's a variety of people. But I was pretty impressed with the capabilities of some of the agents that we had early on.
You are a foreigner sitting in Hong Kong, and you have an outsourced development team in Cebu in the Philippines. But you were saying also in Canada you had your strategy team. So you are really working from very much a worldwide platform.
That's what I truly believe in. I don't want to limit myself to what is in my 50 kilometer surrounding. So I'm finding talents where I find them, and we create a structure around it to make it work. So yes.
Obviously, we're very happy with our experience so far, and a lot of the work of our company is because of the agents that we've done, that we work with. So, we've had a very good experience with it, and I think, especially for our company in particular, outsourcing has been a great asset for us.